All right, we're going to try to make this object here, number 19, and we're going to focus on extruding, mirror function, and sharing. All right, so some of the dimensions here are this bottom piece, this base is 0.25 inches tall, one square. This whole bottom piece is 7 squares or 1.75 inches. This dimension here is 6 squares or 1.5 inches. Um, this height is 6 squares or 1.5 inches. So I'm going to start off by drawing first just half of this base, extruding it up 0.25 inches. I'm going to draw another rectangle, and but we're going to add a circle to that rectangle to get this arch. Okay, so this is what it will eventually look like. I'm going to open or create, sorry, a new document. I'm already in the folder I want to be in, my examples folder. I'm going to title it Object 19, in this case, my name and the date. All right, so since I'm going to start with the base, I'm going to work on this top plane. So I'm going to click on the top face. I'm going to click on Sketch. I need to tell it what plane I'm working in. I now need to say that I'm making a rectangle. I'm going to choose this origin as the start. I'm going to click, drag and click. Now I can put in my dimensions. It's asking for this X dimension first. That might have been hard to see. That'll be my 0.875. That is half of the 1.75. Again, I'm going to mirror. Let's go back to that image. I'm going to mirror this right half to create the left half. So I'm only drawing half of the object right now. So this uh, dimension that I just showed you of the rectangle is 0.875, half of 1.75. Now I'm putting in the other dimension, 1.5 inches. All right, so this rectangle is now done. I'm going to click on it so that I can extrude it. If we look at it in this way, I need to now type in how much it's being extruded, 0.25 inches, and hit enter. I then need to check to finish the extrusion. Okay, so now I'm going to put this, I'm going to make a rectangle and circle on top of the rectangle to make this vertical part. So this is a 1.5 inches tall, 1.5 inches wide, so I'm going to make a square that big. I'm going to put a circle right on top of this with a diameter of 1.5 inches. We're going to use constraints to shape it in the right place. All right. Okay, so I'm going to work on this face here of that base plate. I'm going to again start by making a sketch. I'm telling it what plane to go in. Click here on the origin to start my, whoops, cancel that. Must have made a mistake. Let's start again. Let's make a rectangle by hitting sketch, telling what plane to work in. Now I need to tell it to make a rectangle. I'm starting from the origin. I click and drag. I click to somewhat finish the rectangle, but now I'm going to type in the dimensions, 1.5 inch on that one. Enter, 1.5 inch on that dimension as well. Now, I'm not going to click this green arrow here, this green check mark here, because I need to add to this. I'm going to add a circle. So I'm going to draw a circle. Don't worry about trying to get the circle in the center, but you do need to drag and click and then type in the dimension. I need a 1.5 diameter circle. Okay. Okay, now we're going to use constraints, and I'm going to go over here on the right top side and find the tangent constraint. You need to click twice on the two objects that you want to be tangent. I want the circle to be tangent to the square. I want this part of the circle to be tangent to this part of the square. All right, so now everything, I could, click on this check mark, right? I think I'm done, right? But no, you want to trim parts of the circle and parts of the square to get that arced shape uh, that we're trying to create here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the trim command. It's these scissors right here in the center of the ribbon. And then I'm going to click on the things that I want to trim away. I want to trim away that and that, that and that, and that, and that. Okay, now I can click on the check mark to finish the two-dimensional sketch of that object. I'm just going to click on the corner so you can see what's going to happen here. Now we're going to extrude this shape. So I'm going to click on this shape. Then I'm going to come up here to the left corner and click on extrude. I want to add, but I don't want it to be that big. Okay, so what dimension do we need to put in here? Well, if you look here in the document, this is 3 squares wide. That's 0.75 inches, but again, I only want half of that, or 0.375. So I'm going to type in 0.375. Here's the extrusion length. And then I'm going to click on the check mark to finish that off. All right, success. We now have this wonderfully created half. Um, I'm only going to create one of the holes here just to demonstrate how to do that. So the hole, as you can see from the diagram, this hole on the right side, it's half of a hole, will be an extrusion. So I'm going to work on this top surface. So I'm going to click on the top, zoom in. I'm going to sketch both a line and a circle. Because the reason I need a line is I need to find the center. Well, let's see if we can do it without first. Let's see if we can do a sketch, tell it what plane we're in, click on circle, and see if it finds the center. Okay, I clicked where I think was the center. I'm dragging and clicking again, but now I need to type in the diameter of the circle. The diameter of this circle is difficult to see, but it's 3 boxes in diameter. There's 2 boxes here in the center, and then half a box on each side for a total of 3 boxes, or 0.75 inches. So now I need to type in 0.75 for my diameter, enter. I'm going to finish that two-dimensional drawing. I'm going to get a three-dimensional view of this. Whoops. All right, and if we zoom in, it looks like our circle is on the bottom. Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut out this part. So I'm going to click on it first. I'm going to click on extrude. I want to do a remove. I need to make sure the arrow goes in the right direction, so I'm going to pull on the arrow in this direction. And then lastly, I'm going to type in how much it needs to be extruded, the depth of this hole. In this case, it's 0.25 inches. Whoops, something's wrong. Remove 0.25 inches. All right, let's try that again. All right, so let's click on this. Let's click on extrude. We're doing a remove, but the remove is in this direction, and it's 0.25 inches. And then I'm going to click on the check mark to finish it off. All right, so this is a big success. We now have half of, with the exception of the hole here, we have half of our object. And now I'm going to mirror this. So to mirror this, you need to you need the mirror command right here, but you also need to check on what you are mirroring. So first I'm going to click, shift click, so that I get everything. And now I am going to come up here to the mirror command right here in the center. It looks like a U sort of. I'm going to click on the add part of that. Now I'm going to click in where it says mirror plane. I'm going to rotate this and click on the plane that around which I wish to mirror. Now I'm going to click on the check mark to finish, and now we have a mirrored object. We've made the entire object. Thank you for listening.